I didn't write anything. I didn't really have a chance to write anything for today, but I have a lot to say. And I think the most important thing I want you to know is that I'm just so incredibly grateful for everyone's love and support. It's just, I have no words. It's mind-blowing what has transpired in the last few days. And I'm just speechless by all of you here and the community coming together, people that we knew and loved very well, didn't know very well, didn't know at all, just coming out and offering so much support and love. And it's, I just want to say thank you. And I know that George sees it too. He knows, in fact, George is taking care of me through you. He is the driving force behind everything, that all the love and all the generosity that has been happening this week, and the beauty that I'm seeing out, the outpouring of just love is, it's George, and I feel it and I know it, and it's again one of his creations, and God bless him. I met George in 2010, January 1st. We met at Breakfast of Champions at Kelly's Mission Rock, and I was wearing somewhat of a promiscuous outfit, and I just kept seeing this guy dancing. He would just pass, I was like dancing, and he would just dance, kind of like how Caleb met George, actually. Smiling and dancing, and then, like 5 minutes later, he'd pass me again, smiling and dancing, and he did that for a while. Like, he did that until, I don't even know, until I noticed that he had done it for, like 5 times I'd seen it, like, he might have been doing it for, he was probably doing it for a while before I even noticed, but I was like, that guy's cute, he looks like a nice boy, like, I should date someone like that. But he's just too goofy. Like, he's got this huge grin on his face. He's just like super goofy. I don't know. And eventually George built up the courage to come chat, hang out and chat with a friend of mine, me and a friend of mine that I was there with. And we didn't see each other again for a couple months after that, but that was how we met. And he was just the light of my life. We started dating in March, and we just, even though I went traveling, I left in September, and I was going to be gone at least a year. I didn't know if I was going to come back. I didn't know I was going to, I quit my job. I was setting off to be free, and he had just so much conviction, or I don't know what it was. He just wasn't, if he was scared or anxious about what would happen when I left, he didn't show it to me. He just, and I asked him later, like, how could, like, that must have been really hard. Like, this woman, we were falling in love, and I was leaving, and, no one was coming back. And he just said, I had no choice. Like, what else was I going to do? And he just showed me so much love, and we fell in love, and I went traveling, and I came back, and we moved in, and we just had a wonderful time together, every moment. I was going through a lot of pictures yesterday on my computer of just, I was trying to find photos for today, and I just realized how many adventures we had together. We did so much together. We traveled, we went to festivals, we had beautiful dates, we just our, I don't know. We had just amazing adventures together. We lived really well. We didn't waste moments. We had very full 4 years together, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really, really grateful that he chose me to spend his life with, and that I met him, and that I get to now have his baby. I think she is just my angel, because she's pulling me through this, and she's pulling me through this with George, and I'm so grateful that I get to have his child. I feel really blessed. And I found a card that I wrote to him for his birthday in December, and I was gonna, I could talk to you about how amazing George is, but I found this card this morning. I thought I would just read it because it says everything. My dear, sweet love, George, may you receive all the love, joy, peace, sweetness, and abundance that you deserve on your special day. This day you arrived on earth and set in motion the future of our lives together. This day you arrived and the universe cheered in knowing that many lives were to be made more joyful and full with your presence. You are a precious gem, a rare treasure, a soul to be nurtured and celebrated. We all benefit greatly from knowing you, loving you, and learning from you. Thank you, dear George, for being our light. And what an incredible year 2013 has been. From moving to Oakland, starting Bike Vine, getting engaged and married, making new beautiful friends and community, designing electric vehicles, building your workshop, going on amazing road trip adventures and more happy occasions than I can list, to now, to being ready and excited to start a family together. And me with a little magical seed in my belly. It's been a wondrous year, and I'm so happy and excited to be here with you. I love you with everything in my heart. I'm filled and can't see it. I'm filled with so much gratitude to have you by my side. You are my light and love. Happy 38th birthday, beautiful George. And happy winter solstice too. We are the luckiest girl and boy in the world. Forever, Joe. 12/22/13. And when I found it, I know I told him, we told each other all the time how much we loved each other. We told each other every moment we saw each other. But reading this, yay, I said it all. I said it all recently, it was in writing. He kept it, he really knew, many times over how much I loved him. And I know how much he loved me. It was, there's no doubt that we were right. It was right. We had everything we wanted. And so it's confusing for me right now that he's not here. It's confusing that life has changed for me so dramatically in the last few days. And I try to make sense of it. I thought that it could be helpful for everyone here if I told you what I know about how George died, because I think it was so sudden and the newspaper doesn't really it's kind of largely a mystery, and it's still a mystery to me, but I can tell you what I know, and that way I don't have to tell you individually 200 times. So what I know is that George left for work Tuesday morning around 8 o'clock. He was going to meet Eric and another man, Cole, at a Complio, a client of his, for an all-day meeting. And so he dressed really nicely and had a full day of meetings ahead of him. And he took his electric skateboard on the BART to go to this meeting that was to start at 9 o'clock. He got to BART, he got to the city, he got off BART in the city, and he was riding down from, Market Street down to, Potrero area, and he was going down 8th Street towards Brannan. and there was a bicyclist behind him in the bike lane, some feet away, so they could see everything. And then next to that, there was just parked cars. And George was riding on the board, and he just veered right into a parked car and went down. And he tried to get up, and he collapsed. There was a doctor that just happened to be on the scene, happened to see the whole thing, ran right over immediately, gave him CPR. The medics were there in minutes, they must have been in the area. So within a couple minutes, the medics were there. They intubated him. They gave him electric shock. They tried to revive his heart, but he, almost as soon as he fell, he stopped breathing. They couldn't get him back. They put him in the ambulance. They took him to the hospital. And he was pronounced dead at 9:42, but I think he died. His heart stopped when he fell, and he never came back. And they did an autopsy report, preliminary autopsy report. They're doing some additional testing, but the initial findings are that they could find no cause of death. They with the naked eye could not find any signs of heart attack. They could not find any signs of hemorrhage or internal bleeding. It was no stroke. There was no aneurysm. His body looked like a healthy body. But whatever caused him to die, it happened before he fell. So he veered into the car, but he didn't die from that. Something happened before that. He didn't die of trauma, and we don't really know why his heart stopped. So I don't know if that's better or worse for me. I in some ways, I feel like there's nothing that could have been done differently. There's no one to be angry at. There wasn't an accident. He didn't lose control of anything. Nobody hit him. He just it's time to go for whatever reason. And I have to believe that he left because he had work to do somewhere else, that he was needed. That he was just needed somewhere else for something much more powerful than we can understand right now. And that he was chosen to go at that time. Because I know he's here. I feel him everywhere. I see him in everyone. I see him in this, everything that had to happen to make today happen, all the love. He's already showing us, how powerful his light and love can be in ways that maybe he couldn't have done if he hadn't died on Tuesday. And I think the reasons will reveal themselves more and more and more over time. I don't know what they are right now. But I know that I'm, as horribly painful and devastated as I am, I know that there is beauty in this somewhere. And I just have to keep following that. And I have to be strong because I have a child to take care of now. And I thank God for that, because if I didn't have a child, I think I would be a complete wreck. Like, I just think I would be like in a deep, dark hole and be left with nothing and no purpose and no reason to go on. And I think I just would have so much more. I mean, I have his child, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and I have a lot of help, and I get to have George with me through her, and it's kind of funny and not funny at all that when the moment I decided that I wanted to have kids with George, and it was a couple of years ago, was when I looked at him one night and he was sleeping, or maybe it was in the morning, and I just thought, I just love this man so much. If anything were to happen to him, I would want to have his child left behind. And at that moment, I knew, like, I didn't have any fear about being a single mom or being alone. I just, like, I would want his child, and I told him that, and we started making plans of when we would start, trying to have a family. And when I was at the hospital and they told me that he died, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, it happened. Like, I can't believe it happened. And so I've been, like that, it's been an interesting dichotomy of like, damn it, like, why did I think that? Like, why did I put that out there? Like, why did and thank goodness it happened, because if he were to have died on Tuesday and I didn't have his baby, I would have, anyway, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we're going to have Nova, and she, she's already met her daddy. They're hanging out right now, and she's going to hear all about him in ways that she wouldn't have if he hadn't gone away, because now she has all these stories from everyone and these pictures, and she's going to be reminded all the time of her father and who he was and what he did, and stories that maybe I don't even know, like, that she's going to know about him, about her father. And I just want everyone to know that this is really hard. It's like, I really don't know how to do this, but I know that I will. And I just really appreciate you all being here. So thank you.